Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. You know, I was just going over a list that I put together not too long ago with your help. Of course, I'm talking about the list of the 25 greatest guitar players of all time. Now, if you remember, and if you're of my generation, we used to get these guitar lists in every single guitar-related magazine, rock and roll magazine, and I gotta tell you, every single time the name Eric Clapton was usually in the top three, if not number one every single time. Back in the day, his fans would call him God. Eric Clapton is God. He was the undisputed leader in guitar players. Now, I saw a news item a couple of days ago bringing out Rolling Stone's latest guitar players list. It's the top 250 guitar players of all time. It was put out in 2023, but they haven't updated it since then. And guess where Eric Clapton landed? At number 35. I'm not kidding you, folks. Number 35. This man was always in the top three, definitely in the top five, and no way out of the top 10 for decades. My, how the mighty have fallen. Now, for reference, I will let you new viewers know, if you go to my channel page and click the More button, I have that list of the top 25 guitarists of rock and roll, and that list was arrived at with well over 10,000 votes from you folks. And decades later, where did you put Eric Clapton? You put him at number 4, definitely in the top 5 rock guitarists of all time. Now, to be fair to Rolling Stone, although I don't see why I should be, this isn't just a list of the top rock guitarists, but the rock guitarists are there, and I'll tell you, these lists didn't become popular until there were rock guitarists to put on it. Now, I'm going to look at this list right here. Oh my God, this just doesn't look good. Number 35, Eric Clapton. And I want to scroll down and tell you who beat him. At number 34, Jerry Garcia. Now, Jerry Garcia is a wonderful guitar player, but he isn't freaking Eric Clapton. Below him is one that you guys voted in the top 10. I think he made number 9. You guys could tell me. Brian May of Queen at number 33. Now keep in mind, Brian May, Eric Clapton, Jerry Garcia in the 30s, and watch as we scroll down this list. At number 32, Jack White, a latecomer to rock and roll by the standards of Eric Clapton and even Brian May, but still deserving to be on the list. He's a real innovator at guitar. And then beating him was George Harrison, vastly underrated. And so far on this list ranking guitar players, this is the only ranking I see that I would semi-agree with, and I might put him a nudge higher than 31. At 32, Neil Young, another fair ranking, I would say. But then we start seeing how Rolling Stone is no longer the counterculture, it is the culture. As a matter of fact, it's channels like mine that dare to speak out against them these days. They've got at 29, Eddie Hazel. At 28, David Gilmour. Did you know David Gilmour is number 3 on the list that we put together here on this channel with over 10,000 votes? But who's going to beat these giants of guitars? 27, Buddy Guy. Historically a solid choice. I wouldn't agree that he beats out David Gilmour or Eric Clapton or Jerry Garcia for that matter. Now at 26 we get St. Vincent, and at 25 John Frusciante, 24 James Burton, great guitarist, the writer of Susie Q and guitarist for Ricky Nelson. He would belong in the top 50. 24, I don't know if I would agree with that. And at 23, they've got James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett of Metallica. Now, I can understand Kirk Hammett, but James Hetfield? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Now, at 22, we've got Albert King, a man who deserves to be in the top 15, if you ask me. And notice who beats him further down the line. At 21, Randy Rhoads, not even making the top 20. Randy Rhoads, Ozzy Osbourne's wonderful guitarist from back in the day. Now on the top 25 list that we put together here, again, 10,000 votes and over. Number 2 was Stevie Ray Vaughan. Here, he makes number 20. A travesty, absolute travesty if you ask me. At 19, Freddie King. Great guitarist, nowhere near as good and as proficient as Albert King. And at number 18, Tom Morello. Enough said. Now we're going to start seeing who's replaced the likes of Eric Clapton, Jerry Garcia, right? Brian May. Keep in mind who we've covered already. Number 17, Mother Mabel Carter, a worthy addition to the list, but should be much lower. Number 16, Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson has secured his place in history, but there's only a few recordings of him. Go back and listen to his actual guitar playing. It's great, but it's not solid, and he's often out of rhythm and everything. That's part of his genius, but to place him over Eric Clapton, to me, is incredible. Clapton loves Robert Johnson, owes tons to Robert Johnson, but that shouldn't make him lower on the list in my opinion. Number 15, okay, beating Eric Clapton, Keith Richards. I love Keith Richards. You know I love Keith Richards. I've been doing videos on Keith Richards lately. But number 15, the 15th greatest guitarist of all time? No way, Jose. Number 14, this is a worthy addition. I think it should be higher though. Prince. But see, do you see what's happening here? There is a PC element here. Keep that in mind. I'll let you draw your own conclusions here. But this is a politically correct list. Prince at number 14. At number 13, Tony Iommi. I think that's pretty close to where he wound up on our list, so I don't have a problem with that too much. And then number 12, Jimmy Noland. Like the last name, doesn't deserve to be on this list this high. Number 11, now missing the top 10, Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana is deserving of this and is higher on the bottom lines list, I can tell you for sure. All right, now for the top 10, according to Rolling Stones, all right? Number 10, Duane Allman. Can't complain too much about that. He ranked quite high on our list. Number 9, Joni Mitchell, a personal favorite of mine. Top 10 guitarist when compared to others. Not quite, definitely top 20, but again, the PC vote is out. That leads us to B.B. King at number 8. He ranked quite highly on our list as well. And then number 7, Nile Rodgers. Again, a name that would have never made this list 20 years ago, no matter what. Of course, that leads us to Sister Rosetta Tharpe, a worthy name, maybe in the top 25, but they got her at number 6 here. Number 5, Jeff Beck. At least they're now showing some common sense. I think he might even be higher than what you guys voted on. Personally, I would put him definitely in the top 5 guitar players of my list, and probably number 3. Number 4, no surprise, Eddie Van Halen. He didn't quite make it that high on our list, but he was still represented. And then number 3, Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page was number 1 and creamed the hell out of pretty much anybody else when we did our vote. Number 1 on our list. Number 3, who could possibly beat Jimmy Page? Well, how about Chuck Berry? Now, you guys know I've done videos on Chuck Berry. I think he should be really the king of rock. It's his riffs that Jimmy Page chewed on for a while, along with some blues greats as well. His songs, he was the first rock and roll guitarist who wrote his own songs and sang and played. I think he deserves to be in the top 10, but at number 2, over Jimmy Page, over Jeff Beck, over Eric Clapton, I don't know. And then at number 1, they chose Jimi Hendrix. Now, Jimi Hendrix ranked very high on our list too. He was in, I think, the top 5, definitely the top 10. But how could you possibly rank Jimi Hendrix at number 1 and Eric Clapton at number 35? Well, I'll tell you why Rolling Stone magazine does it. It's because Eric Clapton has fallen out of favor. Eric Clapton, who was always in the top 3, always in the top 10, now can't even crack the top 20 guitarists according to Rolling Stone magazine. And we all know why. It's because of his political beliefs. You know what? I don't think political beliefs belong on this freaking list. You know what? Politics should never come into an accounting on who's the greatest guitar player. And personally, folks, I'm sick and tired of Rolling Stone's politics ruling the roost. How about you? All right, folks, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. That always helps with views. I've said it many times, and I do want to let you guys know I appreciate it so much. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, that's so easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you'll be notified of all of my future videos. All right, folks, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, and don't tell a single soul out there, but between you and me, don't forget, we are the tribe.